Are you ready to break through the mental barriers holding you back? Welcome to the Mind Mastered Secrets of Excellence with Don Grant. Since 2001, Don has been guiding elite athletes like PGA Tour champions, Olympians, and world champions, and everyday individuals toward peak performance. With a proven track record, including helping Vijay Singh win the 2008 FedEx Cup, and her PGA Tour clients averaging a 219% increase in earnings. Dawn knows what it takes to succeed. She's the inventor of the Mind Mastered app, author of 7 Strokes in 7 Days, a sought-after speaker worldwide, and the proud owner of Amelia Shotgun Sports in Northeast Florida. Join us as we dive into powerful strategies, inspiring interviews, and Dawn's unique insights to help you excel in every area of your life, sports, career, relationships, and beyond. And now, here's your host, Don Grant.
All right, I am super excited to have Poe Pinson here with us on my first episode of this podcast, The Mind Mastered Secrets of Excellence. So thank you for being here, Poe.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me.
So excited. And the whole town of Fernandina is, so excited.
Oh, they are.
How about, were you really proud and happy to hear that they named the skating rink after you?
Honestly, I didn't know that was gonna be a thing. Yeah. I was told that it was gonna be a thing, but I thought it was just gonna be like, I don't know. I thought there would be like maybe 6 people there and not. It would just be like unofficial. I thought it was just some like weird unofficial thing, and I was like, oh God. But I guess it's better that it's official. It's just crazy. I don't know. I can't, because I don't feel like that should have happened. I don't feel like that should have happened, but it's happened.
I imagine, yeah. In a lot of ways, you probably feel like the same person you were a few weeks ago, right, or a month ago, but all of a sudden things are different for you. Like when you came back.
Crazy.
How was that?
Weird.
Did you enjoy the parade?
Yeah, the parade was crazy. It was crazy. I didn't even know what was going on the entire time. I was just like waving and skating around. Then everyone wanted photos and stuff, and I was just like, whoo.
What was life like for you, let's say, around town before you went to the Olympics compared to life for you now?
I guess just like now everyone's like, oh, you did so good, congrats. But before, everyone was like, good luck at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Before, like, years before I was even going. Like,
oh, yeah.
Stuff gets around, word gets around, and I think people, like, take their own thing. Like, I didn't even know I was going until, like, not even a month before the event, like, the last qualifier. Okay. And so everyone thought I was going way before that. And there's this, like, rule. And it's like technically you're like not allowed to like refer to me as an Olympian until I actually go and say it. That's what, like, there were a lot of posts and stuff, so I was getting kind of worried.
I got you.
And I was also I feel like I felt the most kind of pressure, I guess, like from like hometown vibes. Because I don't really, at the end of the day, I didn't even like. The Olympics has never been, like, a goal of mine. It's just kind of, like, something that somehow happened, and I still don't even know how. But then I was like, I don't know, because I literally just skate, and I'm like, I don't know how that happened. But it happened, and yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. So, go back into your youthfulness and tell us what life's been like for you and what got you into skating?
Into skating? I actually don't even know. No one really knows what, like, got me into skating. No one knows, like, what... My dad doesn't really know what possessed me to start, like, begging him for a skateboard. But apparently one day I just started begging him for a skateboard and, like, please, can I have a skateboard and go to the skate park? So for my 4th birthday, that's what my gift was, like a little Walmart board and the skate park, going to the skate park. It was kind of funny, and then, I actually kind of correlated that in my head. I don't know if the timing lines up right, but do have this very distant memory of driving past the skate park with my mom when I was younger. I had to have been before 4, I guess, but yeah, I remember driving past and then asking her if we could go, and she said no. So I'm thinking maybe that was whenever I asked my dad.
I got
After
you.
that, because I saw someone doing air, and I was like, whoa.
And so did you live fairly close to the skate park that you were able to start going, or how did that work out for you?
So. I mean, my dad was doing archaeology work, so he was gone for most of the week, and then he would come back on the weekends or like in between projects, or depending on where he was, like every other weekend. So, and my mom was never too like down for it necessarily. So she never really took me, and we forget where I was living. On the island somewhere, but I mean, only my dad would take me, so I'd only really go on the weekends, or we'd go down to Kona or something. But yeah.
Would you say that you were one of those people that you were fairly good at it pretty quick, or did it take you a lot of practice and all?
It takes a lot. It takes a lot. I've been skating for 15 years, but I mean, for me, I guess too, it comes with starting when I was 4, and then not really being conscious or anything until like older, or just like, I don't know, learning things but not knowing anything even about the world is kind of crazy. I don't know. I feel definitely, because I mean, whenever I was with my dad, I mean, we would be at the skate park from like morning till the sun went down. So like,
You skate too?
no, I mean, I taught him how to skate eventually, but he didn't skate before.
So would he like hang out with you, or drop you off and you would just go at it?
He would hang out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he would just. I used to get mad at him because he would get like scared when I fell, and I'd be like, "Dad, I'm okay." Like I would get so scared.
So you started going a lot on the weekends with your father and just getting better and better and better. And what do you think kind of kept bringing you back? Like when you'd fall, you'd get back up and you'd do it some more versus like quitting. What do you feel like that was all about for you?
I don't even know. Maybe just like I think it's kind of like a tick in my brain where I'm like, oh God, I gotta do that. Gotta get that. Like, maybe. I don't even know. It's just like, I mean, it's just so fun. You just go fast, and then you just want to, it's literally like, I don't even know what it is, because I'll try a trick for like 5 hours straight, like trying to film it or something.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's just like, I don't know. It's like I want to stop, but then I can't.
It's
So
like an addiction almost, right? Like you're committed.
Yeah.
You're like seriously like, I'm going to get this.
yeah.
Which is unique, right? Like, just so you know, not everybody's like that, right? Have you ever seen anybody at the skate park who maybe they fell and then they just walked off, or maybe they don't stick to a jump for 5 hours? You ever seen that in somebody else?
I think so, because I mean, a lot of people skate for different reasons. Some people are just like there to hang out and chill and maybe meet some people, or just they're like, or I don't know, or they just kind of like to pass time, pretty bored. Like, I feel like that's why a lot of people started skating over COVID, because it was like there was nothing to do. A lot of people started skating just out of boredom. But it's just like kind of a part of me.
Yeah, which definitely makes you who you are. And I'm glad that you've been able to see like everybody is different, and some people they are there just to have fun, right? Or just to hang out or whatever, but there's something.
I'm there for those things too, of course. That's like, I feel like that's another addictive pull. It's like most of my good friends like came from skating, or like, I don't know. So it's just like, I don't know, there's there's just so much to it that's just so good.
So tell me what your accomplishments have been. Like, are there other
Oh, geez.
competitions? Yeah, tell me about that.
Um, I don't even really know. My dad usually keeps like he pays more attention to it than me. I don't even know what to consider an accomplishment. Like contest wise.
Tell me about that with as far as your particular sport. What does that look like for you?
I guess I've done a few street leagues. I got third place at one, and then there's another different branch of the series called Apex. I got third place at that one. In Colombia in 2021, there was these like junior Pan Am games. I got third place there, but I was kind of bummed. I was like, I did not skate good. Like, I don't know why I got third place, but oh, my dad loves this question, but I don't.
He's got like a whole list of all your accomplishments.
Yeah, I got third at an X Games. It was kind of, I mean, it was like, I also don't know how that happened, but yeah, I don't know. I guess just because for me, my accomplishments are a lot. I feel like smaller than like winnings and stuff. I always am just like, wow, like so. I don't even really pay attention if I don't know.
Yeah, you're
I,
having so much fun.
it's all just like a blur because I don't remember. I don't put like I don't label trips with like medals or anything. I kind of label them just with like other stuff. So
Interesting. I like that. Tell me, because you're 19 now, are you still in school or anything?
and I graduated last year, class of 2023. I don't know.
Mhm.
I was in online school, and then I was gonna start taking college classes, and then I was like, like because school is very hard for me. It's like it takes a lot for me to like actually understand something and digest, and because I like to be 100 at like I like to put my all into things that I do. So
Yeah.
I was just like, ooh, like doing that, and I knew there were a bunch of just so much traveling between like just going on trips to film and then contests, all that. I'm like, ooh, like that would not be good. Like trying to manage that. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just maybe do school and I actually know what I want to do because I still have no idea. So I'm like, probably gonna do just get my associates 2 years and then not go to actual, like, not pay like a lot of money until I am like, okay, maybe I want to do this and I'm like really stoked on this. I'm gonna do this. I still don't know. I like want to do something different every day. So I'm like, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, wow, I want to be a forensic scientist. And then other days I wake up and I'm like, wow, I want to study bioluminescence in like Washington State or something. So I don't know. I every day I wake up, I want to do something different. So
I love it. I love it. Those both sound really fascinating. And I'm a firm believer in, a young person getting their associates prior to moving in for their 4 year degree for the exact reasons that you said. And, everybody's different. Some people, when they are young, they're like, I know what I'm going to do when I grow up, and they stick to it for years. Like they just know what they want to do, but that's not everybody, right? And so I appreciate how you're taking a look at that, and yeah, and you're not alone with struggling with the way our schools are, right?
yeah. Yeah, it's so like I did so bad on my SAT. I got like a 900. Just like but it wasn't even I just got too into it and then I was finishing the reading like the second passage and then the time was up and I was like, "No."
Especially with how mechanically inclined you are, which is pretty evident with your ability on the skateboard, right? So very hands-on, physical, mechanically inclined. uh, Very easy for someone like you to learn when it's hands-on, but
Yeah.
very different when you're trying to like memorize like what's being said to you. or read and try to remember what you're reading. And that's the unfortunate thing for people like you, which is a very high percentage of the population. They struggle with the way our school's set up because our school is all about audio and visual and not the hands-on. And they're usually the kids that are mechanically inclined are the ones that get in trouble because they're ready to be on the playground or something. But they do well with hands-on things. And my son is that way and struggled in school because of it. And maybe one day schools will be a little bit more balanced so that they accommodate, folks like you and my son and a large other percentage of people. But it's tricky. So yeah, so you're still trying to figure out what you want to do when you grow up.
Yeah.
You did mention like the virtual school as far as traveling. So how much have you been traveling for your skating? How frequent is that over the last year or two?
This year has been kind of crazy. Last year was kind of crazy until I hurt my back. I hurt my back in like June, I think, and then I was like chill until like December. So, I think it's more chronic stuff that just got like triggered. But I have like arthritis, and I'm pretty sure it's like my L4, my L5, and my S1. And then I also have 3 herniated discs, and then degenerative disc disease. There we go. So I don't know how like factual. I mean, it said it on the MRI, but I feel like MRIs kind of just say whatever sometimes. But I mean, it definitely feels factual.
Yeah.
Definitely feel that, especially right now. But so that was all that. So I was just in PT, like doing core strength and stuff, and trying to help that out. And so yeah, but this year's been really crazy. This year I've kind of been like traveling pretty nonstop since February. I went to New Zealand in February, and then I came here and I came here for until like late March, and then I went back to Vegas for a quick contest, and then came home. I was home for a little while, then went and visited one of my friends for like a week, and then came back, and then I was home for a few weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks. And then I went to Puerto Rico, and then I got back for 4 days, and then I went to China.
Now, is this all for skating?
Yes.
So are they competitions that you're going to?
Well, a little bit of both. A lot of them too, because a large part of skating outside of just like a competition world is like video projects and stuff.
Okay.
So a lot of that was for like video project filming too, because it's like not really at skate parks. So you go on like trips with brands. Like I went on a few trips with Nike to film. Like that's what New Zealand and Puerto Rico were.
I got you.
So, and then I went to Shanghai after Puerto Rico. Then I was home. I was home for like 2 more weeks maybe. And then here's where things went crazy. In like early June, I went to Budapest, and then I came home for a day. Then I went to San Francisco, and then from San Francisco, I went to Montreal. And I came home for 3 days, and then I went to Paris.
Wow.
And then was in Paris for like 3.5. Well, I was in Paris, but then after the Olympics, I went to Marseille, and then went back to Paris, and then left. I went home for like a week for the parade and stuff, and then it was too much. So then I went to New York, and then I was in New York, and then now I'm here.
Wow. And you're 19.
Yes.
I'm amazed. Do you enjoy traveling? Do you like
I do. I used to kind of hate it, but right now I'm in a phase where I really like it. It's fun. I don't know. I found like a sense of home in other things, I guess, too. So.
And do you foresee that continuing? Like, are you booked up with travel, or videos or competitions?
Yeah, this travel, like New York, LA, and then I'm going to Australia after this. This one's just kind of more like I'm doing whatever. Like I'm probably gonna be filming. I'm actually doing a contest. What's today? I'm doing a contest tomorrow.
Laid back you are. You're like, let's see. I'm used to athletes that are like, I don't know, days ahead of time. Like, oh, I'm competing on this day and I got to do this and I got to do this. They're a little bit more, I don't know, frantic about it, if that's the
Yeah,
right word.
yeah,
So there's a competition, and you're in California right now. So is that where it
yeah,
is? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's like 2 hours down. It's in Vista.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really plan it out, but I was like, okay. I mean, I guess I'll be in LA, so you can just drive down. But
Nice.
it was just like a 1 day thing. But that's
Yeah.
it.
What would you say have been some of the challenges that you've faced in your skating career so far?
Probably mostly just like injury and then like lack of resource for a while, I guess, because my dad and I didn't really grow up with that much money, and he
Yeah.
was like always so down to sacrifice so much to go to all these places before I was like able to get it covered through brands and sponsorships and stuff. So, I mean, that was always a hard part. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't go to because of that,
Mm-hmm.
and then like had to be very selective. And then injury. I mean, injury is inevitable, especially with skating. But in like 2022, I was dealing with a lot of ankle stuff, and then after that healed, I was good for like a few months. Then I hurt my knee. Then my knee took like 6 months.
Mm.
It was just like I strained my MCL and had this crazy bone bruise. I think it's on like my fibula head, maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
that took so long, and it still bothers me sometimes. But um, then after that, I was good. My back started hurting like a few months after that. It's kind of like working its way up. It's kind of funny. But and then so dealing with all that and my
Mm-hmm.
back.
Oh, you
But
definitely love it because
yes,
you keep going back, right? And maybe a little bit of that addiction to what the thrill of it. Would you say it's thrilling or
oh for sure.
rewarding or what? Like, how would you describe what you love about it?
I guess just maybe like the flow state, kind of
Mm-hmm.
when I'm just like on my board and just skating good. I'm like, oh, this is so nice.
Let's
I
talk.
don't know. A little bit of everything. It can be kind of therapeutic at times. It can just be like it really can be frustrating sometimes, but um I don't know, it's almost like a relationship
Oh, I like that.
in a way.
Yeah. When you're not doing it, you feel like you're not supporting that relationship or cheating if you're doing something else.
Yeah, so I've actually been trying to do other things though because I'm like
Mm-hmm.
I gotta chill a little bit sometimes. But
Well, you mentioned the flow, which is also referred to as the zone state, and I love that you know what that is. Um, I don't know if you'd be surprised by this or not, but I do work with a lot of elite and high level athletes and such, and normally the high level athletes do know what the zone is, but the high level athletes are a small percentage compared to like the hundreds of thousands that are lower level athletes, right? And so a lot of the lower level athletes either have never heard of the zone flow, whatever you want to call it,
yeah,
or they've experienced it once or twice and like, oh my god, I wish I could experience that again, but they don't know how. Or they feel like they experience it more often, but they still don't really know how it happened. And that's actually a big part of what I do in my mental trainings. I actually teach people how to be in the zone. I train them through a process. So, how would you describe the zone? You said it felt good, and that's one of the reasons you like skating. So, what does the flow or the zone feel like for you? How would you describe it?
I don't know, kind of like blissful. It really just depends on what I'm doing. It's like when you're skating, it's almost like kind of like a meditation too. It's like when you're skating, you're not really
Nice.
thinking about, oh, like I gotta do this, I gotta do that, like this is happening. Oh, geez, like man, like you're kind of just like there skating, like okay, maybe if I flick my board this way, it'll work better or something like that. Or
Beautiful. If you could envision like a small puzzle, and I like to think of it as like maybe 9 pieces, like they're big, chunky, like kindergarten puzzle, right? And so the way I see the zone or the flow is that you can imagine these 9 puzzle pieces. And one is it feels euphoric, it feels like blissful, like you said, right? Like that's one piece of this zone state. Another one is time seems to fly by, like there's no judgment of time, like it just seems to
yeah,
fly by. Another piece is I'm not consciously thinking, like I'm not analyzing every little thing I'm doing. It's just like happening. It feels like intuitive or instinctual or automatic. So another one is it doesn't even feel like me. Like I'm just like in that moment, and it just feels like some people feel like it's spiritual, like it's more than them, like it's not their physical body. Another piece is um, like meditation. And I don't know if you know, but I'm a hypnotist, which hypnosis and meditation are identical states of mind. And so I've had a private practice in Amelia Island since 2001 doing hypnosis. And so what had happened over the years was, I'm helping people do hypnosis, meditation for all these different things, giving them suggestions for, quitting smoking or losing weight or fear flying or whatever. And then athletes started coming to me, and I started using the hypnosis. So let's say just suggestion for them for confidence and, such. And then I started connecting the dots and realizing that when they told me about the zone state and described it, I was like, God, that sounds just like the hypnosis state. Like time flies by in hypnosis. Everything disappears around you. That's another piece of the puzzle. Like everything disappears around you. You're totally in that moment. So all of these things were like, wait a minute, my hypnosis client is saying the same thing as my athlete client as far as the state. And then what do you know? You fast forward like 10 years, and science has now proven that that peak performance state that we call the zone is the alpha state, which is exactly what a person is in when they're in light hypnosis or meditation. Like it is actually alpha. So science has proven it. So your observation that it feels like meditation is right on. That's cool. Do you meditate? Is that how you knew like it felt like meditation?
I try and meditate. I'm not. I go through phases where I'm consistent with it, but I try to. I feel like I'm not that like great at it yet, but
Mm-hmm.
it's nice. Like I meditated yesterday for like 30 minutes.
That's
An hour.
great. And about it is you are experiencing it naturally while you're skating, and it's one of the things that you said you love about it. If you sit down and meditate like deliberately, it does take work because your mind does want to think, right? And we already said that one of the pieces of what the flow state or the zone state or the alpha state, like they're all the same, it's just different names for it, that your conscious mind is quiet. So in order to get into that meditative state, you do have to practice quieting your conscious mind. And like other things, some people throw in the towel. They'll just say, "Oh, that's too hard," or "I can't meditate. I tried, and I just can't focus that long," or "My mind's just too caught up in other things," and they'll give themselves excuses. But it's just like anything else. With practice, you will get better at it, and you're experiencing it spontaneously. But you can also, with training, like the meditation that you're talking about, you train your mind to meditate, that will give you a big leg up. That's really cool that you're doing that. There's a phrase that maybe you've heard. It's 90% mental. Have you ever heard that phrase in reference to sports and competition?
Um, no, but I've like thought it, or like I'll tell when people are really scared about like
Mm.
physical limitations. I'm like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like it's 1000% more mental than it is physical any day.
So I'd like to pick your brain on that because some like instructors, coaches that are more about the mechanics that would say, well, you can't compete and you can't do well as an athlete unless you've got great mechanics, and then the mental game would be secondary. So how do you see kind of them overlapping? Like how much, because you have to learn the mechanics at some point, right? And
Well, I mean, you're like mind and body are connected. So if like one's not right, then the other's not gonna be like
beautiful.
it either. So I mean, kind of like with skating, especially, it's like anyone can start skating, anyone can like learn, anyone can fall, kind of. But yeah, it's literally just mentally like. There's a lot of times where like a lot of it's visualizing or like practicing a trick to do on something bigger, maybe if you want to do that, or like sometimes I'll do that if I know I'm about to go do a Smith grind, like a 10 stair, then I'll do a bunch of Smith grinds, like just on a little flat bar, and it'll help.
Visually too. So do you visualize some of the techniques?
I don't know, just kind of like, because I feel like for me, it's more like feeling, like I feel like I touch sensory a lot.
Earlier related to like school and all that, being more hands-on. So you can, and so I think you were saying is that you kind of start smaller. You'll do like a certain skill just on a smaller scale first to get familiar with it and get the repetition probably. So when you say that it's like 1,000% mental, feel like, you do need to practice, like, right? You need to go to the skate ring. You need to learn these different skills. You need to have the repetition of those skills. But when it comes to competition,
and then like confidence and stuff too. But confidence is everything. Because I've seen people who are really scared of, say, ollieing the stair set at the skate park, like jumping over the stair set. I've seen people really scared, like get hurt. But then I've seen like random kids who have maybe never even stepped on a skateboard, and they're just like, oh, how you do that? How you do that? And then I'm like, I kind of tell them like, all right, and then they like try it, just off rip, straight up, and then so it's like it's just a confidence thing. Kids that have been skating for like probably a few years now, they're still scared to do it, but could 1,000% do it. And so I don't know, but just so it's a lot of like mental and gaining confidence. So
you're dead on. So we are talking about like the flow zone state, and one of the pieces of that puzzle is when your conscious mind's just quiet, like you're not analyzing at all. So when a person lacks in confidence, then they have a lot of that chatter, like they're worrying and they're doubting and they're like thinking about what could go wrong, and they might even think, I can't do that, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not as good as her, or like all that is different kinds of chatter. So that's not the zone state, right? It's the opposite. But confidence will swipe out all of those things that keep you out of the zone. So it will swipe out, like confidence gets rid of worry, it gets rid of doubt, it gets rid of second guessing. And so again, you're like dead on. The fact you can recognize that confidence is important for your body to work right, but it's also the main element and what puts you in the flow or the zone. And without confidence, you will not be in the flow state or the zone state. And amazing, definitely in a sport like yours, you can see the cause and effect. Like no confidence and will likely crash, right? And confidence and can take on a good stunt, right? Very neat.
Exactly.
Very neat. So who is or are your main support system, and how do you feel that's helped you to excel?
I mean, I guess just like people back home, my dad. I mean, everyone in skating especially is like, for the most part, it's rare that people are going to be like unsupportive of you, but
have you ever been in a relationship with somebody who was not supportive? Have you done any dating or anything?
No, not really.
But you could you imagine if somebody was like insecure because of your skating, or didn't want you to be gone as much as you're gone, or
Oh well, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I mean, yeah. I've been in 2 relationships, but they both kind of just didn't end up working out because of that. I mean, it's just like impossible basically
yeah.
to maintain
Well, to
that,
be,
especially being so young too. I'm traveling and like doing all this stuff. It's a lot of mental capacity to
yeah.
bring on, but
You recognize that those particular relationships weren't going to help you to achieve your goals or the life you were wanting to live. It sounds like.
yes,
Yeah. Because some people, especially older, like if they're already married, it can be a challenge to get the support from that person. And then if you can imagine, kind of like we're talking about, that it's 1,000% mental, and your brain needing to be there. Like if you just got in an argument with somebody or a fight, or you're not really being supported by your significant other, it would make it harder, right, to compete. So
yeah, probably so. I don't know. I've never really gotten that deep into anything, but
yeah.
um,
Well, you're fortunate. Your father's been very supportive.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone's pretty supportive. A lot of industry people too. Like my first like skateboard deck brand sponsor, Meow, Lisa Whitaker. She's always like, I'll go to her about things, or like Alex White, or I mean, there's just so many people that like if I have questions, I can kind of go to and ask, or if I'm like, I don't know. Everyone's super supportive. No one's really like, and if they are like that, like unsupportive and like, like that's just not my. It's not my flow. It's not my vibe. I'm like, okay, well, I'm still because I don't know. I definitely have like life outside of skating for sure,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. Whenever things get too tangled up, I'm just like, y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill because it's like skateboarding just brings people together. It's like it's crazy. Like the weirdest groups of people that should not mesh at all or anything, like they get brought together. I feel like a lot of dramas in life are resolved. Like there are a few of my friends where I don't know, we just bond over skating. Like it's just like
That's cool.
it's like we always just have that bond, even if like I don't know, someone kind of like makes you mad, like pisses you off. Like outside of that, it's like okay, well I'm still gonna go skate with them tomorrow, so whatever. Like
Yeah. It's something you had in common and some camaraderie over, and move on from whatever else was going on. I noticed, especially related to your competing, like how your eating affected, or how you're drinking, or like how you slept. Like we were talking about the mental, but I feel like, in my opinion, there's 7 elements that are important for someone to be their best. It's like how they're eating, how they're drinking, if they're physically fit, how they've slept, the mental, the mechanics, and then also their faith. So have you seen those play a part in how well you're able to compete?
um maybe. I think so. I usually eat pretty good all the time, I'd say. Um, all the time is kind of a stretch. Most of the time, I guess, because I don't eat meat or anything, and I try and stay away from like crazily processed stuff. So I feel like that is just a little bit easier. But I mean, I still do end up eating a bunch of stuff. I got donuts and
How
stuff.
long have
But
you been not eating meat and not eating processed food?
well, processed food, I still it's kind of inevitable, especially like in America. I definitely still do. And not eating meat, a lot of the times if I'm like out and the only option is like a Beyond Burger, Impossible Burger, I'm like, even though it's just all processed and stuff, I'm like, what, like whatever.
True.
But I don't really care. I'm not that strict. I just like mostly as a whole I try and balance everything out. But I don't know. My dad doesn't eat meat. I'll eat fish sometimes too, but um, my dad doesn't eat meat. He hasn't in really so long. So long, like before I was born. I can't even answer that question. But so kind of like on and off my whole life, I guess I've always kind of just been like a little like I never really liked red meat. And I went to Portugal and I was eating steaks and stuff, and then I was like, I don't really like this. So I've never really liked red meat. I've never really liked bacon. Chicken, like, I would go through phases where it freaked me out and where it didn't freak me out. So I'm like, I don't like any sort of like pig. I don't like pork. I don't like any like, so I think it's more of a just like, I don't like regular like beef burgers kind of, I've never really, yeah. So I do like barbecue though. I'll do like a, not pulled pork, but like a beef version. That was probably like one of the last meats I ate. Like, cause I'll go through phases, like I was saying. I don't know. And I've been in this phase for like maybe getting close to a year now. But yeah, so I guess that's kind of what brought that on. And then processed foods, I've just been trying to cut down on that, like, in general. So,
Gotcha.
But yeah, so,
and it is
and then
tricky. Go ahead.
sleeping wise too, that's something I do struggle with, because sometimes it's like a little bit harder for me to fall asleep. Recently, it hasn't really been an issue, but I don't know. I like doing things at night. Like, I'm kind of like a night person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And then usually for contests and stuff, you gotta wake up so early. So before the Olympics, I think I slept like maybe like 3 or 4 hours. Just like did not get enough sleep. Felt crazy. Like my eyes hurt and stuff. But I think I was sunburnt kind of from the day before. So, I mean, yes, I guess so. Just for like, it definitely does play a role, because like if I don't sleep enough, obviously you kind of feel like garbage. So.
What are the sleeping arrangements like at the Olympics?
It was kind of like basically like college, I would say, from experience of like visiting friends in college. It was just like, it was like an apartment with 4 rooms, 2 people in each room, and it was like basically like, oh, like suite mates or whatever. But then we shared like 2 bathrooms, three bathrooms, but everything was weird. It was spread out. There was 1 bathroom with only a toilet and a sink, 1 bathroom with only a shower, and then 1 bathroom with like all the above.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, but I mean, it was good. It was good. Our building had AC, which was cool, because I mean, being from America, the United States, I'm like used to that. And then,
what were some more of your memorable moments from going to the Olympics? Tell us a little bit about it.
Probably just bonding with a few more people. Like, well, there was also so much going on in Paris. There was like a Nike SB video premiere the day after. So all of my friends that like ride for Nike and stuff were there. And then 2 days after that, there was the like skateboard deck brand I ride for now called There. It was doing a video premiere. It was like Nike and There did a dunk shoe collab. And so then all my friends from there were there. And then, oh geez, it was so crazy. And then my family was there. My little sister was there, and her dad, my stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
And then my dad was there. So it was like, I don't know. I was so overwhelmed. There was like one day where I just couldn't. I was just like, oof. But it was like, that was really fun. I don't know. Like I said, I don't. And then in the event, it was pretty cool. Like, I don't know if this will freak anyone else out, but one of the coaches, Andrew, he was like, and skateboarding is weird. I mean, for me, I don't really like get coached or like coaching or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and my trainer, Melanie, was there. But I don't really get like coached or anything. And he kind of knows that. Like, I don't do like well with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, well, I mean, just do you. This is the most people that'll probably ever watch you skate at the same time, like here.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, you're so right. And so I was like, okay, no matter what I do, I mean, it's gonna be like, all right. So I don't know, it was pretty blissful, pretty crazy.
How did you feel, like, mentally being in that situation? Did you feel like you handled it pretty well with all the people watching and everything?
I don't know. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's kind of cool. Like, I kind of like it. It's like, I have trouble like comprehending a lot, because I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I don't even know. So, I mean, I don't really think too hard about it. Like, it's just like the vibes are there, the energy's there, like, and for skating to like be able to land something like that, like to be able to know you're going to land something, pop your tail, and then to actually roll away, that takes all your focus. So you don't really have time or energy or like any sort of thought capacity to be thinking about anything that's happening. Like, if you're thinking about anything else that's going on, like, it's like it's like when you're hitting like a golf ball, like, you know how they have to be like quiet to like lock in or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to have like a similar sort of focus to like, especially with anything, any sort of like big trick, whether it's like filming like a hard trick or like at a contest.
Yeah.
It's like you really have to like, because your feet and your legs and everything is doing so many different things. It all has to like move at once. So if you're like kind of like thinking about other things or focusing on anything else, like it's like gonna be a lot harder to do that. So it kind of just comes with skating, where it's like you don't really have the thought capacity to think about anything other than what is going on. But what is going on in a sense of what's going on
forced
with
into
the
that
board under your feet.
Yeah, I got you. No, I love that. You made some really valid points. Like, you know, even though there's all these people watching, you just were in that moment, which again is something really cool that you're telling me about yourself. Because, okay, at the Olympics, did you see some people where their confidence was wavering or the fear was getting in there and it was causing them problems with their performance?
I would honestly say so, because it was like, I feel like the people who were expected to do the best kind of were like, but I mean, it makes a lot of sense because they're all the girls are so young and they have entire countries like expecting them to get a medal. So it's like the expectations are so high, and all these like just teenage girls like going like 13, 14, such a sensitive time. And just like going through all that, the emotions, I don't know, it's just like, and then a lot of people kind of mistake it too for like, oh, why do they get so sad when they don't win or something? And I'm like, no, like they're not sad that they didn't win. They're just sad that they didn't like put everything down that they wanted to or do their best. And they're also, most of the time, probably not even sad. They're not, like, feeling anything. It's just so many emotions in such, like, a crazy period of time. Like, happen. And it's, like...
Like, it comes over you. This is going to be a weird example, but it's the only way I can relate to what you're saying. I have 2 children. In the moment of childbirth, like the moment the child came out, I had every single emotion come over my body. Like, whatever that was, I'm like laughing, crying, like, I mean, it was the weirdest thing. Like, it just happened, right? There's this emotional response to the situation. And I could see how that would be really similar. So you're talking about, you know, again, it's a weird analogy, but, you know, you're leading up to childbirth and there's fear around it and there's excitement around it and there's the unknown around it. There's all these things, you know, and then that moment and then it all kind of emotionally just like erupts like a volcano.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see that, you know, leading up to the Olympics. And like you said, the pressure from a whole country potentially on your back, and you're not sleeping necessarily great, and you've been traveling and overwhelmed with running around doing all the different branding things and family, and it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. I could see the volcano erupting of emotions at the end of the performance, for sure, over that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, I mean, just everything.
Have you ever felt like quitting skateboarding?
No, honestly, I like want to be able to skate for as long as I can. I mean, there'll probably be like periods of time and stuff where it's harder to skate as often, but I mean, I don't ever foresee myself being like, oh yeah, I'm just not interested in this anymore. I mean, there are periods of time where it's like not skating as much, or like maybe just like chilling, but it's especially with injury. I've been injured so much to the point where I cherish it so much when I'm able to skate without just being in pain. So
yeah, that's
a lot of it, and then
it's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like I can't just not skate. Like, that's just the idea. That's crazy. Like, I don't know. Even if I tried to quit skating, I feel like I would have nothing to do. So I would just start skating again. I don't know.
I love it. You know, Poe, you probably don't even realize it, but you have so many of the elements that add up to somebody that's, you know, at peak performance, super successful, like your level of confidence, your ability to be in the moment, meaning like you didn't even really recognize you have an event tomorrow. You're like, let me look at my calendar. Like you're in this moment. You're not stressing about the event. You're eating good and clean pretty much. You have eyes that if somebody's not going to support me in my life, I don't have time for it. You know who you are and what you want to do with your time. You're driven, you're determined, you're focused. You got that diligence, like I'm going to keep going, even if it's 5 hours on this one thing. I'm going to fall off the horse. I'm going to get back on it. Like you have so many elements that will like ensure this path that you're on. I think it's really cool to see it because you're unique. Not everybody has all those things, especially at 19. And I love it. And it really proves how you got where you are, you know, like, and where you're going to be going. It's really awesome to see that. And they're also natural for you, which I love also. It's like, you're probably like, wait, what? No, everybody's like that.
Yeah.
But where do you see yourself in like 5 and 10 years? What are some of your goals and the direction you want to go in?
I don't really even know. Hopefully, still bodily intact. Hopefully, I'm gonna manifest that into reality. And then, I don't know. For sure, definitely still skating. Whether it's like competing or not, I probably won't still be doing contests by then. I would like to say. I hope I'm not.
Oh, really?
If I am, I mean, no, I don't hope I'm not. But I guess I'll just see where the wind takes me. But could still be doing contests. I just don't know. And then
doing them, what would you be doing? Like still involved in the skating world?
Just different? Yeah, 1000%. And like, because there's so much more to skating than just like the contest world of it. So hopefully put out like just make videos and stuff and like just more like passion projects rather than like structured contests, I guess.
I got you. And then it's interesting because the contests get you to where you are as far as recognition, so that the brands.
Weird. It is weird how that works because a lot of people work like that. It's weird how that works, but it's like you have to do that. Almost, you don't have to, but a lot of the times, it's like that's how people get kind of seen.
Yeah, wanting to use you for their videos and all that. If you could give one piece of advice, or like if you had a magic pill or, you know, some wisdom, what's the one thing you would say to any like young new skater or any athlete really like starting out? Like what would you say to them? What would you advise them?
I guess just like if you're liking it, just keep going, and like it's okay, even if it's not very like fruitful, or just like even if you're not getting that much out of it. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, if you like it, and that's what's great about it. So, just if you find that thing that you like that you don't really care about seeing that many rewards from.
The reward's more internal, right? If you like it,
just like, just stay with that.
Yeah.
And then balance everything.
Nice. Well, I do want to tell all the listeners that I have a web page where you can get some free goodies. So some free stuff for my mental training, for my Mind Mastered app, but also Amelia Shotgun Sports. You can even get like a free golf cart or push cart rental. So it's dongrant.com/free. And Poe, do you have some shout outs for your sponsors or brands and anything that you want to mention?
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess I always shout out Lisa Whitaker because I feel like she put so many people on, especially in like female skate world, or not just anything that's not like typical in skating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying all this kind of weird and fried, but whatever. Shout out Lisa Whitaker, and then my dad. I guess, yeah, all my sponsors,
Mm-hmm.
like their skateboards, Slappy Trucks,
Slappy Trucks,
Mob Grip Tape, Bronson Bearings, Bitfire Wheels, Nike SB, Thread Wallets. Shout out all of them.
Nice.
They mess with me, so
they make it possible
shout out
for
them
you,
for
right?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So
And my dad, if I didn't say him, or if I did say him, then again,
we
my
can
dad.
say it again. Yeah. Do you have like a website, social media? Like, how can people either follow you or get in contact with you or learn more about you?
I think I have a website, but I don't know how accurate it is because I didn't make it.
Okay.
I don't know who made it. I think I was just like, I wonder what pops up, and there was a website, and I was like, okay.
Oh, weird.
So I mean,
But your social
I guess
media?
I do have a website. Oh yeah, social media. Like I had Instagram, Poe Pinson. I have TikTok, but I haven't had it on my phone in like a year and a half, so I don't know what's on there.
Yeah.
But Facebook, yeah, just Poe Pinson. Same thing. I got some stuff on Twitter, but I haven't had it in a while. I like went on it to see what was on it the other day, and then I was like, oh god, so I got it.
So Instagram,
But yeah,
is your main
mostly
one?
it's Instagram, yeah, and then sometimes Facebook.
Gotcha.
Like once every few weeks, I'll go on Facebook.
Can you think of anything else you want to add that we didn't cover that you just love to say?
Honestly, I think we covered like a lot, like more than I could ever say. So.
Well, awesome. It's been a pleasure. And folks, you could come see me at Amelia Shotgun Sports and on all social media for all of my businesses. Definitely follow on there. And I'm planning to, have weekly podcasts where it's a matter of interviewing people on the secrets of excellence, whether they're athletes or not, and as well as giving some good insights on, what helps people to be their best selves. And thank you, Poe, for being my first guest on the Mind Mastered podcast. And I hope to have you as a guest again, maybe in the future, to see your update. That'd be cool, huh?
Yes, that'll be great.
Yeah. And so enjoy all your travels.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Mastered Secrets of Excellence with Don Grant. Whether you're an elite athlete or pursuing success in your career or personal life, Don Grant's expertise and insights are here to guide you. Don't forget to visit dongrant.com/free to grab your exclusive free resources, hypnosis audios, mental training tools, and even a golf cart at her club. If you enjoyed today's episode, follow, rate, and share this podcast. Stay connected with Dawn on all social media platforms for more inspiration, tips, and updates. Remember, mastering your mind is the key to unlocking your full potential. Until next time, keep pushing your limits and striving for excellence.